Dr. W here, 4Element doctor and also a 4Element yoga pioneer. A pioneer trying to introduce you and others to feeling the body in a very powerful and I like to say somatic way. And this is part of a larger 4Element yoga series and somatic journey and moving with dogs. So a little bit different things that we apply this concept to. What I'd like to introduce you to, or expand upon for some of you is the concept of why you want to use the 4 elements in your somatic journey, in your yoga practice, which could all be very new to you, this form way of thinking. And I would suggest that most of you out there who are doing some amount of body work, yoga, even a martial art, something of that order, that you want to feel the body in as deep and as rich a set of ways as you can. You want to feel like you're doing something that has a deep significance. And what I suggest is that by understanding these 4 ways, these 4 elemental principles, forces, motions, you can do your own work that you're doing right now in the discipline that you're in, with a little bit more finesse, a little bit more ability to get what you want out of your current discipline. But what makes this 4-element yoga approach powerfully positive and significant is that the way we define 4 simple things, not 100, not 20. We don't have to give a lot of different names to different motions so much as just appreciating these 4 basic movements. Now we do have names of different motions and types of maneuvers, but by and large they're involving just 4 simple motions that we call the earth, the water, the air, and the fire motions. And once you can define these motions, the more you can feel what is happening as you're putting motion of that sort into a particular part of your body that you want to invigorate, you want to stir life back into. Perhaps you've hurt your shoulder or your neck or your lower back. Perhaps you're trying to invigorate a portion of your body's health back, rev it up a little bit more, whether it be your chest, your digestive system, your sex organs down here. There's ways of bringing life into different regions by focusing yourself on bringing these 4 motions into that part of your body. So just by understanding 4 motions, great things can happen. So let's talk about how to apply this, perhaps this time into the shoulder. So the shoulder is a lot of patients come into my practice having shoulder issues, and the shoulder is very complex. There's different parts of it that need to be improved upon. And right now, what I want to talk about is the power of the fire principle and how that is going to be invigorated in this moment that we're going to work together. The fire principle uses the z-axis, so that back to front z-axis is the motion that the fire principle works in. Now, the fire principle's back to front motion is the motion that we work as human beings in the day-to-day activities. We walk, you've heard me say it before, we walk in that back to front. We do our work, for that matter, in that back to front. Even though we might just be doing this or that, so much of our life is organized about moving from back to front. And our shoulders have to do a lot of that, don't they, when you come to think of it? So now there's times that I might instruct my patients to put the x-axis of water into motion and stir up tides of motion. I sometimes call it a washcloth as they're going back and forth. They might just stick, if they have a left shoulder issue, they might just want to push 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to go into detail. There's other 4-element yoga videos that might speak more about that kind of a motion. And I recommend that you look at them. And we have links to them in our site here. But right now, let's talk about the fire principle and why we want to stir that up. We want to organize the shoulder if we have issues there. And the fire principle is the nervous system portal of entry, that back to front motion of the z-axis, that forward motion, is the motion that we call the fire maneuvers motion. The sun's rays of light come from the back forwardly into each of us, from the sun forward to our planet. So that's the power of the fire principle, this forward motion. Now, oftentimes with the fire principle, we have a focus on creating a circle. If you've been with me before, you might know that the geometry of each of these principles plays out in a way that we can take advantage of. So the fire principle is the oneness principle of the cosmos of nature, if you will. And it's that circle of oneness in a sense. And when you create a circle with your arms and hands like this, you're kind of making that principle of that unity more apparent. Because what you're going to find is as you move forward in this kind of circular way that the arms and the hands create, you're able to let that oneness circuit operate a little bit more effectively. You're able to, if there's shoulder issues, that shoulder by itself isn't coming forward. It's being supported by the rest of the circle that it's part of. So that's the power of a circle when you put motion into it, is it allows different, the other side for that matter, to help bring that motion into that region. Now, what I like to say with the fire principle in many of these circuits that we want to invigorate, it's useful in 4-element yoga to think in terms of keeping the level that you're working on parallel to the ground. We call that an orthogonal kind of maneuver. When we have right angles or parallels, that's, in physics, we call that orthogonal relationships. And what that does is it forces the nervous system to be more organized. It can't just, when you come forward, you aren't like going like that, you're not going like that, but you're keeping it steady. You're keeping it a reference point with the ground. And you're just going back and forth. You might want to lead with your elbow. You could also lead with your forearm, your hand, whatever you want to choose to do. I'm focusing just on my left side here, and I can go at different angles. And I'm keeping my hands in my, at the level of my neck or the upper thoracics. It's always useful to have the hands at the level that you're trying to help. So right now I am trying to help my glenohumeral joint here, and I'm staying pretty much focused on my left side. Now, I will point out that my right hand here is supporting my left side. Now, theoretically, I could be like this or something different, but the point is I want to feel my left hand, my right hand supporting, allowing that left arm to kind of garner a little extra support as it comes forward. So there you go. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And I might want to bring my head back, allow this to come forward. I'm becoming more somatically aware as I breathe into 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's useful to not rotate your torso or even your neck. Let your arms and your shoulders bear the rotational going outward force. This forces even more reference for the muscles and the nerves because you're keeping your axial skeletal system straight, but you're forcing the shoulder girdle and other parts of your arms to deal with that going out to the side. So I'm doing it very, very slowly. I recommend that you do it yourself at your own speed. And other clips here will go into more detail on such things as the shoulder. You can apply this to your hips, to your torso, even to your face as you go like this. There's different ways of applying these same principles to different regions of the body. But today, this particular maneuver is being applied to the shoulder. All right, enjoy, practice, and learn more about 4-element yoga. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye for now.